Good day. My name is Jillian Stewart Gregory, and today I'll be presenting some information on Infopics and infographics, how we convey information visually. Important information related to the presentation today is understanding my course redesign. I have chosen a literacy course for pre-service teachers that I teach at a Research One university. And relevant information related to that includes that it is a course that is required for graduation. It is a course that meets state requirements for reading certification, so there are very specific topics that I'm required to cover. The students are all content area pre-service teachers. That is, they either teach social studies or science. And so what that means is that sometimes the lens that they approach my class with is one of resistance, because they are really focused on loving teaching social studies or loving teaching science. And so they are not as keen to be focused on why literacy is an important component of their instruction. And through the course of instructing this class over multiple years, one of the areas that all of my students across all of the years have struggled with, my struggle lesson is fluency, but what it is and how they can support fluency development in their students. Attendant with fluency is understanding dyslexia and how dyslexia presents in the classroom and what that means in terms of their experiences as a classroom teacher. In conveying this information, the info pick I've chosen is this one. I created it, and the idea is that 1 in 5 individuals are dyslexic across cultures and languages. So that represents 20% of their population of students. It is a brain-based learning disability, and Orton Gillingham and the research behind Orton Gillingham is what is proven to be evidence-based and show a difference in outcomes for students with dyslexia. And of all learning disabilities, dyslexia represents about 90% of them. The infographic I've designed is the one before you now. Essentially what it gets to is it drives into dyslexia being the most common learning disability. 90% of all specific learning disabilities are dyslexic. The infographic goes into what dyslexia is. It's reading is a man-made idea, so it requires parts of the brain to work in a specific sequence. And so dyslexic brains are wired differently. And then it dives into whether dyslexia can be cured, how do we rewire the brain, myths about dyslexia, and then, of course, famous individuals with dyslexia. And the idea behind the structure of this infographic really is to provide a deep amount of information, but also graphical representation to support that information. And really, ultimately, for both the InfoPic and the infographic, I want my students to understand the prevalence of dyslexia and that they will encounter students who are in their general education classrooms who are dyslexic.